All right, folks, so this is Shetz, and today, we just got done probably a good week of factoring, and now what's going to happen is these problems are going to be set equal they're going to be equations. And notice right here, we have an equals. So here's our zero product property. If you would take two numbers, A and B, multiply them together and get a zero, what do you know about one of these two numbers? Well, either A has to equal 0, or we could have B equaling 0. Okay, so here we have an equation right there. You know how to factor this. This would be an easier one. What are the factors of -6 that add up to a 1? All right, well, go ahead and, notice how everything's on the left side. You're going to factor this. This is considered to be an easier one. And notice what we get. We get x minus 2 and an x plus 3. Well, here is one that's like A right there, and this one's like B right there. So either one of these two quantities must be a 0. So you can simply just write x minus 2 equals 0, or the x plus 3 equals 0. And when we solve this blue one, we're going to add 2 to both sides. And notice what we get, x equals a 2. For the pink one here, we're going to subtract the 3, and notice what we get, x equals -3. So these are the two solutions, this one and that one, that would make this original equation true. And notice everything, this is a quadratic, you can see right here, degree 2, quadratic, we should get two answers. And notice everything is on one side of the equation. Okay, we get to something like this. Here's a little bit harder one. You want to play tic-tac-toe, so I'll give you a few minutes to play tic-tac-toe. And you should have gotten this equation here, these two binomials. So again, this is like my A right here, and then here's my B. And if these two numbers multiply together to give us a 0, one of these, this blue or this pink, must be equal to a 0. So you can simply just write 3x plus 4 equals 0. Or the pink, x plus 2 equals 0. Well, why don't we solve the pink first? All we have to do is subtract the 2. And guess what? We get -2. That's one of our solutions. When I get over here to the blue, we need to subtract the 4 from both sides. These cancel out. And notice we get a -4. And now, finally, all we have to do is divide by a 3. So x equals -4/3. But wait a second, folks. Instead of doing all this work and all this work, I have a really cool shortcut. Look at our answer here, -4/3. Instead of doing all this work right here, why don't we just take the opposite of this and put it over that number there. Notice, -4/3, there's my answer. And I don't have to do all this work. It works every time if you cheat like that. Take the opposite of this. Hold on, let me get back to this. Take the opposite of this and put it over that one. Guess what? Don't we have a -2/1 or just a -2? So that's always going to work, this nice little shortcut. All right, let's try another one. Here we have a 5x squared minus 2x minus 7. Again, it's a quadratic. You can see degree 2. Everything's set equal to 0. Get everything on one side. I'll give you a minute. Play tic-tac-toe on this one. And notice you should have gotten 5x plus 7 and an x minus 1 still equal to 0. And we know from our little trick that we need to take the opposite of this, put it over that. All right, we got negative 7/5. That's one answer. That would make this original equation true if we put a negative 5/7 there and a negative 5/7 there. And then the opposite of this, put it over that 1, and we're going to get a positive 1. There's our two x answers or solutions to make this original equation true. There you go, folks. This is how you solve quadratic equations. Make sure everything is on one side, then you factor it. Okay, I'll let you try one more. Try this one, and notice it is a quadratic. You can see degree 2 right there, but guess what? This doesn't have a constant, and there's no number by itself. It's got the first term, the middle term, but there's just no constant. All right, well, again, whenever we factor, we always look for a GCF. So go ahead and take out the GCF. And hopefully you got that answer there. And x is in common to both of these. We take it out, and we're left with an 2x plus 1. All right, well, from here, that's like that A, and all of this is my B. Well, from here, we're going to get a 0, x would equal 0, or this 2x plus 1 equals 0. Again, we're just going to take the opposite of this and put it over that number. Here comes our other x, a negative 1/2. So these are the two numbers that x equals, a 0 and a negative 1/2. That is how you solve quadratic, and then you can see an equation. Thanks, folks. Hope you like it.